I want to focus primarily on how do you market yourself as a real estate agent. How you answer a simple question could change everything for you. What's the question and how do you answer it? That's what we have to figure out today. So here's the question. Are you ready? How you doing? Now, I don't want you to answer that, but that simple question of how you doing makes such a difference on how people respond to you. Most of the time when people ask the question, how you doing, maybe you wonder if they actually really want to know how you're doing. I know oftentimes I've got some people in my life when I say how you doing, I'm afraid I just ask the question because they might just tell me and I already know it's not that great. With other people though, maybe they're asking you how you're doing knowing you're in real estate because they want to know how the market's doing or what you might be able to do to help them. So the way you answer the simple question, how you doing, might just be the best way you market yourself in real estate. So what are some of the things that you could say differently than the way you're answering that simple question today? How you doing? Oh, I'm fine. You know what fine stands for? Frustrated, insecure, neurotic, and emotional. Someone says, how you doing? You say fine. You just mean you're frustrated. When you say, I'm good, and you say good, but you say it with enough enthusiasm, you want them to actually believe it. Like, don't lie to people and say that I'm great. Like that whole concept of being over enthusiastic with the response to how you doing, people know that you're full of crap when you answer it. So how do you answer the question, how you doing? Maybe we could go to Joey in Friends. How would he answer, how you doing, huh? That never works for me, but for you it just might. So when someone says, how you doing, what are you gonna say? I remember thinking one Sunday as I was getting ready for church that I wanted to change the way I answered the question, how you doing? And so I remember this because I was in the bathroom, I was putting my tie on and getting ready, and I was practicing the dialogue that I was gonna use as people walked in and I greeted them at the door and they said, oh, hi, Verl, how you doing? Instead of saying, I'm great, or I'm wonderful, or I'm fine, I wanted to come up with something that would open up a real estate conversation. Now, probably not the best thing to do in church, but you know me, I'm always thinking about how to do things differently. So I was practicing dialogue in the mirror, and I remember my wife saying to me, hey, who you talking to in there? And I was like, nobody. I'm just practicing my dialogue. How you doing? She says, well, knock it off. So I did. So we practice our scripts and our dialogue. I do it all the time. If you're with me and I'm traveling and I'm walking through the airport, you'll notice oftentimes I'm saying things or I'm talking. My kids who travel with me from time to time have learned that just because I'm talking doesn't mean I want them to answer. They'll be like, what'd you mean? What'd you say? What'd you do? I'm constantly practicing how I'm going to say things, what I'm going to say. I don't know if it's a sickness I have or it's just how you become better at your craft. But I wanted to be good at how you doing, and I wanted to be able to create a real estate conversation. So are you ready for the dialogue? Are you ready to hear what I came up with? I wanted to tie it in with how I really felt. And I wanted to open up a real estate conversation. How you doing? And my answer was, I'm blessed. I'm helping a lot of people take advantage of the incredible opportunities that are in the market right now. And I'm helping people that didn't think they could sell their home, sell it at maximum dollar. Why do you ask? Answering the question with I'm blessed and why, tying it into a real estate conversation, completely changed the way people responded to me. Some people are like, oh, that's funny, knock it off. I went and sat down. The dentist paused and said, what do you mean by that? I said, which part? He goes, well, you're helping people sell difficult properties. I said, oh, do you have a difficult property? He says, I do actually, but down in price. I said, well, look, let's not talk about it here. Let's talk about it away from here. I'll call you later this week. Dennis is a good guy. He's a guy I've known for many, many years. I hadn't ever done any real estate with him. And so later on that week, I called him, set up an appointment, went and met with him. And what I found out was that he managed the wealth of others. And by answering the question, how you doing, with I'm blessed, I'm helping people take advantage of the incredible opportunities in today's market, it made him think about, hey, I've never looked at Verl this way. As a result of that, I sold a property, listed another property he had in the mountains, and have done millions of dollars in real estate because I answered the question differently. So how are you going to answer the question? How you doing? Oh, it's tough out there. Oh, the market's really hard. I don't know. We're just hanging in there. I mean, who wants to do business with someone who's hanging in there, who's like barely surviving, who's thinking about getting a job or getting a job? People want to do business with people who are real and people who are looking for opportunities in any real estate market. And by answering the question, how you doing, with I'm blessed, and then really tying it into a real estate scenario will change the way people respond. So how do we go from being a license holder to actually being somebody who is proactive about generating real estate? How do you market yourself as a real estate agent? I'm going to say it starts by opening your mouth. What? Opening your mouth. Like real estate comes up all the time. It comes up when people are together in church groups or in family gatherings or at ball games. It happens at work. Real estate comes up all the time. What are you doing to make sure that when real estate comes up, boom, you're at the front of the mind of the people having that conversation? And what is your communication to everybody you know that you are unlike any other realtor, that you are different, that greatness is predictable, and that everything you do puts them in a position to be the most educated real estate buyer or seller in every conversation, in every negotiation? So I'm going to ask yourself this question. In your communication, are you positioning yourself as a true expert? Have you set yourself up on auto hot sheets for all the different price categories in your marketplace? So when someone says, I'm looking at a house in the $750 to $1 million range, you know the house is on the market. You know the ones that have recently sold. You've toured the ones that have not sold because they're overpriced or they don't have the condition correct. Have you gone through and become a student of the marketplace? When someone says, I'm looking for a starter home, do you know what's on the market? Do you know the builders that are giving concessions? Do you know the available interest rate programs that allow the government that's giving, like in Salt Lake right now, I know that our government is giving away $2,000 to first-time home buyers just for interest rate buy down or to help them with their closing costs. There are so many programs and so many incentives out there. Is the way you're communicating positioning you as a true expert? How you doing? I'm blessed. I help out a lot of first-time home buyers that didn't think they can buy homes, take advantage of all the incentives for first-time home buyers. Well, how you doing that? Well, let me share. Or why do you ask? Think about how you answer the question, how you doing? The last thing I'll tell you is to plug in to any of these videos where we've offered a shift module. These shift modules tell the story. They use emotional intelligence and artificial intelligence to tie people's emotions to what's going on in the marketplace, and they give you the scripts and the dialogue to position you as an expert. Just for watching this video, I'm gonna give you 3 of them. I'm gonna give you the interest rate offset, I'm gonna give you the new construction advantage, and I'm gonna give you the discount point rate reduction shift module and all of the resources associated with those modules. Go in and start messaging to your consumer different. When they say, how you doing? Use the dialogue from a shift module, have some fun with it, stop taking yourself too seriously, practice in the mirror, and let's have some fun. Can you really market yourself in today's market? The answer is yes. And you do it by opening your mouth.